This is the Ag Queen Podcast. This podcast explores the agriculture industry with the movers and shakers of those shaping it. Here's your host, Lorrie Boyer.
Joining me on the show here today is Dr. David Magana. He is a senior fruits and vegetables analyst at Rabo AgriFinance in a Rabo Research Food and Agribusiness Group. Dr. Magana, let's start off by talking about the pistachio trends right now. It is the fastest growing snack category, I understand, in the Pacific Midwest.
Sure. Pistachios have become the favorite tree nut in California, particularly the fastest growing industry in California, with very fast expansion in terms of new plantings. And a couple of factors that have been driving these plantings are, one, profitability. So pistachios, unlike other tree nuts such as almonds and walnuts that have been facing significant challenges over the past few seasons, pistachio profitability has remained steady. Well, now with some margin pressures given the increase in cost and larger volumes of pistachios hitting the market, but still most prices are at profitable level. So we've seen new plantings from 2012 until 2022, on average around 30,000 acres of new plantings. So that will put grain acreage to reach close to 600,000 acres by the end of this decade. And the other driver is that pistachios are obviously more resilient for drought compared to competing crops.
California has a lot of water issues. So what makes pistachios more water friendly or more water efficient for growers?
Well, if you see water requirement for pistachios is lower compared to, for example, almonds, and also are more resilient to drought or to deficit irrigation, even to salinity. Almonds are particularly sensitive to salinity. In a dry year, when you have lower availability of surface water, you need to pump out practically all of the water, and that is lower quality water that brings up some salinity. So almond yields are more sensitive, whereas pistachio orchards are more resilient to drought, to salinity, or even to deficit irrigation.
Okay. In your research, what all did you research besides cost? What else did you research?
Basically, market dynamics globally. Now the U.S. has become the largest producer, the largest exporter of pistachios globally, surpassing Iran. That over the past 20 years, we've seen kind of Iran remaining flat to declining, and rapid growth in the U.S. So now the U.S. really is the dominant force in the global pistachio market in terms of production, consumption, and in terms of exports. We also describe a little bit about the destination markets, and the California pistachio industry relies heavily on exports, as other tree nuts as well. About 70% of what is produced is exported. So having reliable logistics and market access will continue to be critical for the industry to export as much as they will need in the next few years, as pistachio supplies will set new records in years to come.
Dr. Magana, I also know there is research out on how healthy pistachios are for you.
Yeah, the industry has been doing some research on the healthfulness aspect, and they've been promoting pistachios. Recent research shows that pistachios are a complete protein and also one of the most digestible proteins out there. And the antioxidant content in pistachios is even higher than other products such as blueberries that are known to have very elevated antioxidant content. So that the healthfulness, convenience, taste, those have been drivers for years. And the industry has been doing a very good job in terms of product innovation, flavors and package sizes, and now no shells. Not only the largest company, but other processors are now launching to the market no shell pistachios with a diversity of flavor. I was in an event, in the event last week. It is just surprising to see how many flavors are there, and depending on what you like, if very spicy to sweet or natural, salt, no salt, whatever. So that will continue to drive demand for pistachios.
What else did you research?
In this report, we are also estimating supplies and exports, and then we conclude the last section of the report. We provide a price outlook that we're expecting that prices will remain relatively steady despite the fact that we will see increasing supplies hitting the market as all the bearing acreage will continue to hit records every year for the rest of this decade. But then again, we go back to having reliable logistics, and market access will be critical to keep the profitability in the industry.
I know you attended the recent International Fresh Produce Association show. Tell me about your experience and who you talked to there.
Having conversations with clients, with prospects, and with also other participants in the industry, such as marketing associations for specific commodities, things like that. And definitely there are a lot of exciting developments in the industry all across the supply chain, from new genetics that we will continue to see for fruits, for vegetables, flowers, and also innovations to make the labor more efficient, increase productivity, and all the way to post-harvest solutions to increase shelf life and reduce food waste, and packaging. It was surprising to see like a lot of the innovation on consumer foods, like salads on the like a personal size, and a lot of new compostable packaging, focusing on flavor. So as always, we say relevant demand drivers are the powerful combination of healthfulness, convenience, taste, versatility, and the industry is doing a good job on all in terms of innovation. Just to review some of the recent developments in the industry over the past few months, retail fresh produce sales have been setting records. So that means that for U.S. consumers, the fresh produce aisle of the supermarket is a healthy option, not only in terms of healthfulness, but also since inflation has been pretty much flat to declining for fresh produce over the past few months. So that's also a healthy option for consumers that are trying to find good value in the supermarket.
Okay. All right. I know you just mentioned some of the flavors. I saw that too. How many producers are there? Is there a lot of pistachio producers still left, or are we talking about a few companies now in California?
No, there's still a lot of small-sized growers and medium-sized growers, and then they sell to different processors. And now we've seen that the industry has been diversifying and expanding the processing capacity with more players joining, and that increased processing capacity will be needed in the future as the industry continues to expand in terms of volume and in terms of growers. Now we've seen some growers transitioning from other tree nuts or from other crops, and they've been planting pistachios over the past decade. However, we will see that the incentives to plant will probably not be as strong in the next few years compared to the past decade, but the industry should be well positioned. Having said that, there are some some estimates in the industry that due to Sigma, in the next couple of decades, the industry may lose up 100,000 acres in marginal lands. So probably if you I already said that the bearing acreage will approach 600,000 acres by the end of this decade. So if we see 2 decades from now, it is likely that number is not going to be much larger than 600,000 or just over 500,000 acres.
Okay. Got it. Got it. Okay. What else would you like to share here today, Dr. Magana?
Terms of pistachios, I mean, I think that's still the outlook is positive. Obviously, growers will need to continually adopt economically sustainable practices to be more efficient, particularly now that with increasing volumes, it is likely that margin pressures will be increasing. So now, like to remain profitable, work on the supply side and implement more uh, sustainable practices in terms of, and sustainable, I mean, from the economic point of view, and also to make like more environmentally sustainable, to be more efficient in terms of water and the use of inputs, also to remain profitable.
Perfect. Okay. Any other notes you wanted to share from that show?
From the show,
Yeah, whether it's
well, it
pistachio or
was
not.
besides pistachios, it is a great opportunity to connect with old friends and to get to know new people. So in this industry, we had the opportunity to get together with 20,000 of our closest friends. And so definitely not only tree nuts, but also fruits, vegetables, and flowers, and a lot, um, a lot to see. And one, so a lot of industry, so all the fruits, and as you know, I not only cover pistachios, but also we have a recent report on table grapes, and during the summer I published walnut report, and before this year, avocados, and also almonds. And next week, we're going to release our global blueberry report where we analyzed the trends in the market in different areas from South America, industry dynamics, industry trends in South America, Mexico, US, and also in Europe. And as you know, blueberries have become a true global industry. Unlike other berries, blackberries, raspberries, strawberries that have a shorter shelf life, and the industries remain more like regional. For example, you have the North American market with blackberries, raspberries being produced in the Central Coast in California and mostly in central Mexico, but you don't have a lot of intercontinental trade as that is the case in blueberries. So a lot of exciting
Interesting.
developments as well in the blueberry industry. Per capita consumption has been growing rapidly in the US, in Europe, in even in China, as they continue to improve. They continue to improve on the quality of the fruit and now offer more consistent quality that will continue to attract new consumers.
What is the trait that you're referring to?
Well, now you see a lot of a trend in premiumization in blueberries, with the adoption of new cultivars, the development of new cultivars for all the different growing regions from high chill, mid chill, low chill, or true no chill, our requirement varieties, and growing in a lot of dimensions, not only like sizes for blueberries. Now you can have increasingly blueberries that are around 30 millimeters in diameter, and at the same time they travel better. So shelf life is longer. So when it reaches the consumer, it's still you still have a high quality product despite the fact that probably it's been 40 days or even 50 days since harvest. And um, So in terms of consistency, crunchiness, firmness, flavor, and things like that, we will continue to see better berries ahead, and that will continue to reshape how the industry. Not to mention the mechanical harvestability, which is it will continue to transform the industry given all the labor challenges and the labor cost, in particularly at harvesting.
Okay, those are good points. Is there any mechanical harvesting of pistachios, David, by chance?
100%.
Oh, it's all 100%. Oh, okay. I did not realize that. Huh.
Yeah, that's been one of the drivers as well. Over the past 2 decades in California, a lot of the production, the area that used to be stone fruit, peaches, nectarines, plums, that was very labor intensive, and they were having profitability issues. And then on pistachios, and partly besides profitability at that point, it was because most of the labor, most of the work, you can do that mechanically. So you shake the tree, and then for pistachios, they catch those pistachios. They don't touch the ground, unlike almonds, where you have shakers, sweepers, and then you are kind of collecting all that from the floor. In pistachios, they are shaking the trees, and they are still, as we speak, they're wrapping up this year's harvest, and 100% is mechanical harvest.
Once again, my guest here today, Dr. David Magana, Senior Fruits and Vegetables Analyst at Rabo AgriFinance and a Rabo Research Food and Agribusiness Group.
Thanks for tuning in to this edition of the Ag Queen Podcast with your host, Lorrie Boyer.